Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. We got the squad in the building. Yeah. The man, the myth, the legend, formerly known as Ringo J. Stefan the Don, as always, holding it down. And of course, the super producer Joel Holt. The light squad today is always on a Wednesday, but squad nonetheless. And of course, the chat is in the building. Crimson was the first person in here dropping a bird don. He didn't even drop a bird don. He dropped like a bear laugh. I don't know what that was. It was like bear. Ha! Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what it was. Cole in the building dropping a bear don. Relentless Mikey in the building dropping a bird don. We got Augustine in the building dropping a year. I ain't mad at it. I love that the chat also yours now. We have no idea where this comes from.
No.
We just started doing it.
Told you.
On today's show, I do think you said be more. I think that's probably right. I think Baltimore's probably right.
Yeah.
No, hey, whatever it is. On today's show, got to talk about Minicamp Day 2. Got some very interesting insight out of Day 2 of Minicamp. PFF rates the Bears as a team that could be the team that could go from worst to first in the NFC. That'd be very interesting because first is going to be difficult. Who's shooting there? Claude Rains.
Calvin.
Shout out Claude Rains. Y'all didn't know he was on the show today. That's an old reference. Dang, Pat. Do you know who Claude Rains is?
No.
I don't think so.
Wait.
That's a real old reference, dog. That's like my parents watching me TV and making me listen to old time radio reference. He's the Shadow. Don't worry about it. Or not the Shadow, the Invisible Man. Can we also got to talk about the Tevin Jenkins contract. We heard him talk about his contract today. So very interesting statement from him. And, you know, he's already reached out, but it seems like that has not been reciprocated. And the Bulls basically are depressing us again. We'll talk about all that and more on today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Boys, what's good? How y'all feeling, man? Everybody good on a Wednesday? It's hump day. We halfway through the week. It's almost Friday. I'll probably drink something tonight just because it's almost Friday.
Yeah, probably. I mean, Cubs beat the Sox.
I mean, there is that. We do got Cubs beating the Sox. I like how last night we were in the group chat arguing just because it felt like we were supposed to, but neither of us have any confidence in our team.
Oh yeah,
it was just we beat you because you have just a bit worse bullpen than us.
Oh yeah, but bullpen is dog water. Although Imanaga 12 runs in the last two outings, I ain't fooling with that.
Yeah, it had to fall off eventually.
Yeah.
Joe, what you got going on tonight, man? The hump day. What's going on with you? What's going on with you? Why'd you start laughing?
No, because
what's happening?
We talked earlier, so you're like, "What's going on with you, buddy?"
Okay.
You want to say what I'm doing? Okay, a little dinner with the wife. That's all.
Okay.
A little crab. Scallops, find some wine. Just chilling.
Why'd you go Richard Pryor on that? No soybean, no all beef products.
Thank you.
Hey man, we got some good things out of mandatory minicamp today. Continued growth, I think, is the conversation that we're having about this Chicago Bears team. I think it is the most important conversation to have about this team, and we got to see that today. Starting off. Some of the people who were injured, though, or I use injured very loosely right now, but some of the people who weren't out at practice, Braxton Jones was not out there. I'm trying to log into my notes here on my computer. I should have had this ready to go, but
shout out to Nova 312.
All of a sudden, Apple just want to screw
Eric
me over.
Big E was happening. Joe sounds like he says I sound bougie.
Oh yeah, listen, y'all have no idea.
No, to your point, it was a good day today though. In general, just like it was like this week has been cool. No issues at the regular gig. Like okay, things are calming down. So.
Well, you just jinxed yourself. Here we go. Now there's
peaks and valleys.
A server's gonna blow up. Yeah, Braxton Jones was not out there. Cole Kmet was not out there. Tyler Scott was not out there. Those were the three players that didn't make it out on the field today. Matt Eberflus did address that in his post-practice presser, basically saying they're not out there because they felt something. We got them on the table. It's precautionary. It's nothing extreme. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing to worry about. I think what is very interesting when you talk about some of the people who have been out, ladies and gentlemen, Timpani. Nate Davis practiced today, ladies and gentlemen. Nate Davis was on the field. Now, breathe. The horns were a little excessive in limited snaps.
Oh.
He split time at the right guard position with Ryan Bates, who had been the starting center. I think this is the Bears possibly preparing themselves just in case Nate Davis is not in there. Ryan Bates has already been a right guard in this league. He's been pretty good at that position as well. But we did see Nate Davis on the practice field today, splitting those reps. And we also saw the ramp-up period for Montez Sweat starting to get going. Had about 2 to 4 total reps per Courtney. Oh, wait a minute. Run that back. Montez Sweat. Man, can you imagine if we got what's his name? We had the sweat connection. Was it who's the other Sweat? Why my mind's thinking Keith Sweat. It's not his name.
You talking about for Philly?
Yeah.
We just brought him up too. Dang, what's his name?
It don't matter. But anyway, saw Montez getting back out there per Courtney Cronin. Did about 2 to 4 snaps.
We got 100 in the
out
chat,
there. Over 100 in the chat. But good to see everybody kind of ramping back up, getting back in there again. I'm not concerned about any of the guys who were held out today. Cole Kmet looked fine to me yesterday when he left the field. And I think that it's probably, I felt Sweat. A little Josh Sweat. Thank you, Josh Sweat. The sweat connection. You know what I mean?
Sweat.
That Bears line will be sweaty. That's nuts. I like that. But no, I just think that, don't worry about the guys who were held out today. And that it's good to see guys who have been out starting to get themselves going today. As far as how the day went, though, sounds like another growth day for the offense. Love to hear that. Courtney Cronin was talked about a 7-on-7 that Caleb Williams showed some really good promise, made some really good throws today, threw another interception. Everybody breathe for a second. I know the world just flipped. He threw another interception to Tremaine Edmonds, very similar to the one that he threw yesterday to Kevin Byard. Flu said he got to his read late. He said he hasn't looked at the tape, but based on what I'm seeing, got to the read late, didn't deliver the football on time, and it ends up getting picked off. But what I love about that is the bounce back on that next series out, goes back out there and immediately throws
a dart.
A dart.
You beat me too.
A dart.
Wait, is it on soundboard?
No, I got it.
He got to get it. He got to get it on the soundboard.
We're going to have to sit. We're going to do some recordings.
But immediately throws a dart to Tevin Jenkins, to Bayless Jones of all people, who did come down with the football for a touchdown.
I told y'all that. Well,
when
the bright lights come on,
we'll see about that. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see when the game starts. But I love. Here's my thing, and I said this on the Chicago Bears podcast today, and this is what I think has been the theme of minicamp, OTAs, and all of that, and what I really want people to take out of what this team is becoming. This is a team that bounces back really, really well.
Yeah,
I mean, like yesterday when I'm up in minicamp, I'm watching Caleb Williams come out. Boom, we picking y'all apart. I got Keenan. I got DJ. I'm getting the ball to everybody. Rome catching it down the seam. Boom. Y'all, it ain't nothing. Offense is confident. They're walking off the field. They're not talking trash.
Yeah.
Because they really don't. They haven't got there yet. And I think they know they're going to lose more days than they win at this point. So they're not talking trash yet. But they walk off the field, and you could just tell the defense was like, oh, you got your weapons, do you? Let's go.
Yeah. No, that's good. I mean, it's the iron sharpening the iron, so to speak. So all I care about is Caleb getting this offense. Is he progressing? That's all I care about. Shout out to Jason Dow. I think he's like show full of dogs. I'm like, I got you, man. I know what you want. I know what you want to do. I got you, man. Appreciate
I'm definitely looking at it from.
Hold on, we got a quick question. Come back to Ringo. A quick question from Relentless Mikey. How did Booker look out there when you were there?
Austin Booker, I'll say this. You can't, again, I keep saying this. One, you have to understand, I think Tevin Jenkins said this the best in his press conference. This is a offensive drill as far as the receivers and stuff like that. But this is a defensive drill when it comes to being able to do moves. The O-linemen have nothing to grab onto. And you have to think, if they're going to do, what's the move that most left tackles do, or most, if you're a guard that you're doing, right? You punch it. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to punch you in the shoulder with no pads on.
Right.
Because if I do that and you dislocate your shoulder, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if I do that and you do dislocate your shoulder, now I just lost my main defensive piece because I'm sitting here trying to prove that I can do something on the offensive end. So they're not showing you anything crazy. But from what I've seen, Booker is very quick. Booker is around the ball. Booker is on every phase that he can be on. Those are the three things that I love to see. I think yesterday when I was out there, I saw 2 potential sacks. You never know with guys like Justin last year or Caleb this year in practice because it's like, that's a sack. And then you like watch them during the season. You're like, well, it's probably not a sack. You know what I mean? But I think that it's good to see. Austin Booker has been really good out there when I've seen him, and he's been on everything. I'm not gonna lie, rookie year, whether he makes an impact opposite Montez Sweat or not, he got to be on kickoff.
Yeah, he's quick.
Yeah,
bro. Like he got to be on. The kickoff is so quick. Yeah. And I was talking about this yesterday, bro. It's 5 yards.
Yeah.
So he running back 5 yards, and then he's coming back. If he blocked one dude the right way, a hole is open. Bayless should be gone. And that's where I expect to see Bayless. But
what were you going to say, Ringo?
No, yeah, I was going to say, going back to your point, like, iron sharpens iron. And the thing that I like today that Kyler Gordon first brought up, he said, hey, we want 20. It's basically a 2020. I think it was 20 picks and 20 fumbles. 20 picks and 20 fumbles, and you could see just the camaraderie that everybody's speaking about. Everybody wants to fly around. Everybody thinks that they can make an impact. They know that they can be one of the top defenses. It's just about getting everything together. Another thing that even Jalen Johnson talked about today. Somebody asked him what was the difference between the defense when he first came in as being a rookie, and then this defense now. He said, hey, it was COVID, so we wasn't having a lot of barbecues.
Yeah.
But this team definitely seems to be on more of a string off the field as well. So you could just tell, like, hey, when things start to ramp up and get ready to go, this defense, especially, is going to be on par and ready to go.
Yeah, I think the Bears have something they come into the season that they can hang their hat on. And the one thing I will say that I've seen from this defense is, of course, D-Walk is doing probably 85% of the talking out there. Everybody's talking, but it's absolutely led by DeMarcus Walker. But they know where they're supposed to be. They know how they're supposed to attack. They know how they're supposed to come off of the ball. It feels like a defense that's in year 3 of this defense.
Yeah.
And so you love to see that, and you love the confidence that comes from that.
So, really, to me, all this is – I'm not worried about the defense. The defense, to a degree, has pretty much been what it is now the last year or two. From, again, going back to Caleb, like, did he have consecutive series of doing some of plays, or did he have situations where it was stagnant? Was he able to move down the field
Your first couple of periods, Caleb was able to move down the field, but the defense continues to adjust. The defense continues to get them back. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what you want to see. The end of practice yesterday, they couldn't move the ball. Nobody could move the ball.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're so used to seeing 3 and outs. Like, are we seeing him get to a certain point? So, like, is he starting to make that leap where he got a couple series where he's converting on 3rd down, or does he, first down, they got a big completion, so now they're moving down the field, and then they get stuck in the red zone, and it's tough for him to do that. Like, I'm curious to see how he's moving the ball from the 20 to the 20.
I think what's very interesting is they keep using the same word. They keep saying the cadence is the problem. We got to get the cadence right. We got to figure the cadence out. You heard Teven talk about the cadence today. Once again, Flus continues to talk about the cadence. It's so weird. I don't know if y'all saw Keenan yesterday, but Courtney asked him about it. There's a calmness around this offense. Mm-hmm. Like, I legitimately think that they're just like, once he get the cadence down, he got it. Like, there's a calmness, and I'm not saying that he's perfect. He's going to come out and he's going to be dominant day one. He's going to be able to play like a superstar day one. But there is a confidence around this offense right now of like, okay, once we figure this part out, we're probably going to be a good chunk of the way there that we need to be, at least for having a rookie quarterback. And we're not at training camp yet. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of false starts. There's a lot of going too early. They continue to. Tevin even talked about it, right? They're jumping when Big Bill. They said Big Bill has a phenomenal voice, and he does. You can hear him when they're trying to do hard count. You just hear Big Bill move, and they jump. Oh shoot! Oh dang it! You know what I mean? So seeing that in person and hearing what they're saying, their thing is like, we got to get used to the dude's voice back here. We got to get, him kind of at a point where he's drawing the other team off sides. And it seems to be the thing that they're working on the most right now. But there's just a calmness around this team of like, we know he can throw the football. I'm not worried about that. We know he can hit you in stride. I'm not worried about that. Yeah. I'll say the times I've been there, I haven't seen a ton of overthrows. I haven't seen a ton of. I mean, he's been shut down, but it's been him trying to hit his guy where his guy is supposed to be, and the defender is also there. This defense is preparing them for defenses that they may see twice a year this year, though. Yeah, like legitimately, like San Fran and who? Houston?
San Fran and probably Houston.
San Fran, Houston?
But I made the mention.
No, I'm saying just a defense of this caliber.
Yeah.
San Fran, quality. Houston. Rams is a question mark to me. Rams without Aaron Donald
I think the Rams.
That's different.
You can't put the Rams.
You ain't got Aaron Donald in there. You know what I mean?
I said they fell off in general. No, you're right.
I'll probably say Green Bay.
See, I got to see it called, though. They got all the
Minnesota.
We keep saying this. They got the talent for it. I didn't say Minnesota's defense.
Minnesota
got a nice
Minnesota's
defense.
tough.
But they lost Daniil Hunter. They added
rookie.
They added
what's
Jared
the rookie?
Verse.
They had the rookie.
Jared. No, they got the other one.
They got the rookie I wanted.
They got Verse?
I think they got Jared Verse.
Did they get Verse? I thought they got
because they moved back up, and then that's when I told Joe on draft night. I was like, they're gonna get McCarthy, and then they moved back up to get Verse.
Yeah,
you might be right. Okay, I thought they got Dallas Turner. I thought they got Dallas Turner. Somebody double check that. I thought they got Dallas Turner. Somebody in the chat let us know. Yeah, I mean chat let us know. But no, I think that Jordan's not here.
I know.
But no, I think that you're talking about. So yeah, if we want to include, Dark Mind said Turner. I thought they got Turner. Rams got Verse. I knew what I'm talking about. No, but sorry. I mean, even so, we're talking about 4 games this season, maybe 6 depending on the Packers. But more times than not, you're not gonna see a defense of this caliber. So, Caleb is learning through one of the toughest defenses there is, and they're not letting the ball through. This ain't no Lovie Smith.
Yeah,
this ain't no. I was
Lovie was bend don't break. Like
no, but during practice, and it was funny because everybody come here is low flex coming. So I was standing next to Jerry Azuma the other day, Jerry Azuma and Dan Pompey, as I was watching Minicamp and light flex, and Azuma was sitting there talking about the end of practice, and he was like, they basically had this period at the end of practice where they're walking through. This is where he's supposed to be, deliver the football here. They're working on new plays. And they was like, what are they doing now? And Jerry was like, oh, this is when they let them get the football through. But at least it's just the end of practice because I guess Lovie basically used to just be like, would y'all let the ball through? Because they could never figure out no offensive plays because they couldn't get the football through the defense. So he'd be like, would y'all just let the ball through? Like, let it through. And Zoom said him and Lance and all them be pissed. Be like, no, I'm not letting the ball through. They need to get the ball through. Why would I let the ball through?
Right.
So it is that. It's literally like iron sharpens iron. We keep saying that, except we've actually got iron on the other side of the football now.
Exactly. Now, for the record, I mean, Rex Grossman was the NFC Player of the Month.
He couldn't get the football
for
through
5 weeks. He was amazing, and then the book was out. It's like the boxing reference we talked about. Once they figured
him out, man,
he's cooked.
And that's the sign, right? And that's why I love this. That's why I'm saying Caleb is adjusting to what the defense is doing day by day. Now the defense is leaps and bounds ahead of him, but Caleb is adjusting.
He's also a rookie.
He's improving. Yes, 100%. He's a rookie. It's going to take time, but he's getting himself to that level of okay, this is what they did on this play. Now I need to figure this out. Now this side get the ball through. So every day you're seeing him kind of figure it out.
We got 200 in the chat, by the way.
Over 200 in the chat. 200. What do we got up on the YouTube side? YouTube right now dominating the day, it looks like. We got 133 on the YouTube side, 26 likes. So they kind of hate us, but they love to comment. They never hit the like button. I don't know what's going on with that. But also 75 people over on the Twitter side. Shout out to the Twitter side. Twitter taking a wild turn. We may have to get off Twitter, bro.
Oh yeah, bro.
Twitter taking a wild turn. I knew when he named it X, he was going there. I knew when he named it X, he was going there. Bro.
Everybody knew. My whole thing was like, yeah, they're gonna start allowing it, and I was like, start, yeah,
like, I mean, you gotta really censor your page out here for some of the people out there. Be safe out there in these Twitter streets. Hey, you gotta be safe out there, bro. Start off 9 a.m. with a random hole in your face. Whoa! It's too early. Let me get at least the one, but no,
the blood pumping there.
But
the kid said Twitter almost got me
suspended from work. Now you know you shouldn't be on Twitter on the computer, bro.
I'm sitting at my desk and I'm like, don't hit that.
Go out. Kid was that dude in the Luka interview.
I can see Kid now, just like he's sitting at work, just like scrolling through Twitter, innocent, and you just hear. I'm gonna go home, y'all. Gotta be safe out here in these Twitter streets, bro.
Please.
But no, I mean, what was I about to say? Let's keep this thing moving along. Appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Send in your minicamp questions. We'll answer them as they come through, but we're going to keep the show moving along. Appreciate y'all for showing love. PFF. Even though I think what's hilarious to me is, didn't PFF literally say that the Bears were basically going to be a 8-win team? That like what was the other ranking that we did, dog? It was like the Bears are going to be an 8-win team.
But they put us at 22,
and they ranked us as like the 22nd or 23rd best team in the NFL. And yeah, we keep seeing graphics like this. This is crazy, bro. You got this out of Sega.
I just took it off of the one side, bro. It was last minute, man.
Hey, dog, this mug here, bro.
Hey, man, leave me alone,
bro.
Man.
This mug look like the soundtrack coming with that in.
Say,
y'all remember playing Matt? Was Matt was on Sega, wasn't it? Oh no, it was NFL. It was just NFL. It was just like NFL 99.
You stupid. No, that was Tecmo Bowl.
They have the Chicago Bears ranked as the second most likely team to go from worst to first in the NFC. And I mean, I guess in theory, right, in the NFC North. Now, the Bengals is a given. Seeing the Bengals on there, like, here's my thing. Do we really need to put them on this list? Oh. Like, we know that if they get their quarterback back, they're going to be a better football
What's funny
team.
is they got the Panthers up there. Like, ranked to go to the first in their division?
Well, I mean, you also have to take this into account as you got to think the worst teams. There's 8 divisions. There's 8 worst teams.
Yeah, but you're saying in the NFC South, you got Tampa Bay and Atlanta and New Orleans. You think the Panthers could go to first?
Joe, but it's the worst team in the division. Like the Bears were in 4th place last year.
Right. So they're saying
it's all the 4th place teams
that can get to the
likelihood that they're going to get to first. There's only 8 of them.
Okay, so you're saying there's only 8.
So like they're the bottom of the barrel. The Bears are number 2 on this list, and I think that
they're just bored. We're just talking.
We're just creating a list at this point. I do think that this is interesting. Madden 94. It was original Madden 94 on Genesis. Okay, I thought so. I knew I wasn't tripping on that. There was also just NFL football, though. I remember having that as well.
Yeah,
I think
remember Joe Montana.
I think Al Michaels was on that.
Wasn't Joe Montana 93? That wasn't on Genesis. I had that.
Well, all of it was on Genesis at that point.
No, I mean Nintendo. Well, that's Super Nintendo. I don't know. It's been a minute.
I love Genesis. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I had both, but I was really a Super Nintendo guy.
We know you was rich.
No, the rich kid had a Neo Geo. That was Dana Dabner.
make-
Dana Dabner is out there. Shout out to Dana Dabner. That was a rich kid. He had a Neo Geo. And when one of the kids had TurboGrafx 16 because you could flip the switch from 8-bit to 16.
I remember that.
Ooh.
I remember that. My grandmother had that one, and then that one died, and then she just brought us back a regular Genesis, and I was like, it ain't the same.
Crimson said he still has his.
I love Genesis.
It's not the same.
It's not the same, bro. When you
Nintendo
sitting there with that 8-bit boy,
Yeah.
oh God. But no, I think this is interesting when you talk about the Bears being a likely team to go from worst to first. They have them as the second ranked on this list because to me, a lot has to happen for you to go from worst to first. But at a minimum, the belief is that the offense is clicking.
Yeah.
There's no way you go from worst to first if your offense isn't clicking. I think that we do have, as Keenan Allen said yesterday, a top 5 level defense.
Oh, yeah.
I think that you have a group of players right now where, yeah, you still want to be able to sack the quarterback. You want to see those sack numbers go up. But what we saw last season was the pressure numbers go up. Pressure leads to quick passes. Quick passes lead to your DBs getting involved. Your DBs getting involved leads to 22 interceptions at the end of the year last year.
Yeah.
That puts you in a great spot.
Should have been 24, but
it's more about if the offense is able to stay on the field a little bit longer. You want that time of possession, at least a 50. If you can dominate the time of possession, convert on some of those third and longs or what have you, third and shorts, that keeps the defense fresh. You can have a balanced team. If not, they're out here just throwing this offense should light up these teams, and then the defense can be fresh and hold them to nothing. Like I think 35-14 type game, 35-17 type games is more realistic versus 24-21. Last minute, dang near almost going to overtime.
Mm-hmm.
We need a field goal to end the game. We had a lot of 17-9. What was that Vikings game? 9-7.
Yeah.
It was 3 field goals, 9-7 or something like that. Like we should hopefully see that they can put some points on the board with this type of offense.
Yeah, and I think
Shout out to
my thing with it is I believe that they can go to worst at first. My only trepidation with that is the fact of we've talked about the mental hurdles all the time, and that second half schedule is basically going to determine that because I don't know if you can go out and beat I don't know if you can go out and beat the Packers like twice. I mean every year.
I mean, listen, you haven't been able to do it.
Yeah. I mean,
like it is out there. You haven't been able to do it.
Say, oh man, yeah. I mean, this guy hates the Packers. I mean, it's cool. We like it, but I mean, you ain't done it. So it's just like where my entire thing was, where is this team gonna be by the time they get to the second half of the schedule? Because at that point, it's just division battles almost. So it's basically like who's gonna have that mental fortitude to step up. I believe they can, but I haven't seen it.
You gotta be somewhere around 6-4, 6-3, 7-2 going into that.
Well, by the Packers, I thought it was like.
Well, by the time you get to your divisional game,
that was the Packers game. First,
Packers
right?
Is Packers the first on the schedule? It might be.
I thought it was like week 10. Yeah, or week almost 11. It's like 7.
Well, you got San Francisco before that,
right?
So before San Francisco is your first 9 games of the season, I believe.
The way they got it. I like. Shout out to Chef Mac. He's saying, quick question: how many games do y'all need to see to get a good sense on how our season is going to end up? Me personally, first 6 games. To be honest with you, I think the first 2 games tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
I mean, the first game, like last year, it was like. What?
I don't know about that because we can't say that about last season.
Yeah, because what the heck? Well, they made the trade and changed the dynamic of their team.
But the defense has started.
My point
the defense has started improving before they made the trade.
I'm saying, but coming out, we knew everybody was like, this team, the first 2 games was like, holy crap. And for the most part, the offense has definitely been stagnant. It was outside of that Washington game and the Denver game where we saw some offense and it was like, whoa, Justin Fields was throwing the ball. We were seeing something. For the most part, before Sweat got there, that team was pretty much dead. Now he doesn't make that trade. It's a different team. It's the
well, I don't know because your defense has started making that turn before Sweat got there. Now Sweat helped it; he solidified it.
Well, you had
started seeing the defense playing better.
So, how many games do you think? And how many games? I said 2. How many games do you say?
I would say you probably need to get through about 7 games in the season.
That you feel like that's how the season's gonna
because
end
the
up?
thing is, how many teams did we see last year that started off the season slow? Maybe you start off 2-2, and then all of a sudden, your season takes off. Heck, the season
I'll give you
where
that Buffalo.
the season where Detroit is now, or how they got to where they are now, they started off the season 1-6.
I hear you.
They went on a
You're-
run at the end of that season, and all of a sudden it's an entirely different season. They didn't make any changes. They just started winning. They started finishing the games that they lost on. Now, I don't expect that from this Bears team. I'll tell you what, you go 1-6 in this schedule with the second half you got. Jesus.
Well, that's my point. You should be. My point is just you should see an offense look like an offense in the first 2 games. If you had all this time to prepare coming out the gate, no one has tape on Caleb.
Yeah,
we should see something that gives us a lot of promise. But I give you that too. Like, I mean, when Nagy got here, right, and he got real cute with the T formation, and it was like, oh my God, we look like an offense. And there was times where we did look like an offense in certain years. With the Nagy year, even the again, like the Patriots game with Justin Fields, it was like, oh my God, this is what the potential of this team could look like. So there have been these moments. I just want to see consistency in the first couple of games. Where you give hope, like they look like they know what they're doing. Now, to your point, injuries. Tevin Jenkins was hurt coming in. A lot of guys aren't necessarily rounded into shape. So it could be right that you want to wait a few games, maybe 6 games or later, to get a good body of work.
I just think that listen, I think that I'll say this. The practices I've been to this year are much better than the practices I went to last year. And I'm not talking about the players. I'm talking about how they're practicing, how they're going about it. Much more physical. I'm seeing more physicality in no pads at OTAs and at minicamp than I saw in training camp last year.
Yeah.
Like literally, like by far much more physicality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know if that's because Waldron's in there. I don't know what's going into that, but like it makes it looks so different from last season. It looks so different from outside of the first year where everybody sucked and they were like, everybody's fighting for their job, so they playing as hard as they can and they sprinting to the sidelines. This looks like legitimate practices, and these aren't real practices.
Well, it looks like the mindset is there that's put in place. They know, okay, we know we have it, and it's up to us to actually perform. We had a little bit of it last year, starting to get some of that confidence. So to your point, it's like the game has changed. The expectations are here now.
Yeah.
But what that tells me is that you're practicing harder now. Okay, that's going to continue to ramp. I would hope it's going to continue to ramp up when we get to training camp.
Right.
Hopefully, we see players playing preseason this year. That means that the Bears are using different tactics heading into the season. Hopefully, by the start of the season, we're a little bit more prepared. Last year, we used the first 4 games of the season as preseason.
All right.
And you basically went 0-4 in all of them. And then all of a sudden you start getting wins in there. You get the Washington win. You start building on some of these wins that you got. But realistically speaking, if you get the Denver win, if you get, one of those first 4 games, now you had you had Kansas City Chiefs in there as well. You got your head kicked in by the Patriot or the
beat in there
by the Packers. You know what I mean? So all of that plays into it. But to me, for them to do that, to go from worst to first, you can't start this season unprepared. You can't start this season saying the first 4 games we're using to get ourselves right and get ourselves used to real football.
Yeah, I'm with Joe. I think the fact that they realistically feel like they got a shot now and everybody's talking about it, especially after now you get polls. He makes the trade for Keenan. You already got DJ Moore. Now the offense is on a high, and now going off of what you said, Caleb is improving every single practice. So it's like now, oh yeah, okay, maybe we do got a shot to go from worst to first, and that's something that you want to see, because at the end of the day, all this is gonna come down to is who's gonna be able to make plays, and the whole Justin versus Caleb thing. At the end of the day, you might have your comments, but Poles is absolutely right. Like, quarterback is like the position that like you have to have an imprint on the game.
Yeah.
In order for you to be able to do something. Now that they finally got that, it's like, oh, like this is our systems go.
I think too, it's just there's too much pressure on the Bears right now to not look competitive in these first couple weeks.
And you got
shout out to Dark Mind. He says we have to go 3-1 in at least the first 4 games. Like my thing is, my thing is that
3-1 is a lot. You got to be 2-2.
But look, you got Hard Knocks, you got the national media, we got this number 1 pick. Like you have to have this set up for the pressure is to win, and not saying you got to go 4-0, but I was thinking 2-2, like what you're saying. You beat Tennessee. Maybe you have a problem with the Texans. Then you come back. Who's week 3? We just
week 3 is.
Those are all the next 2 are winnable games.
Colts. It's week 3 to Colts.
And then the 4th week was. I gotta pull that back up. But those are winnable games that depend on if the offense is clicking. You just can't look like you're throwing duds out there.
So you got Texans.
Win.
Oh no, you got Titans.
Win.
Texans.
Possible
Colts.
Win.
Rams. Panthers. Jaguars. Commanders. Cardinals. Patriots. And then you get the Packers. You should be able to win some of those games. I'm not gonna lie.
3-1 is doable.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Through your first 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd say through your first 7, I see 1, 2, 3. I see at least 3 wins that I say I'm 80% confident the Bears can win.
Cold lock.
Panthers, Jaguars, Commanders.
That's you gonna put Charles Barkley guarantee on?
I don't think
I put a Charles Barkley guarantee on that. I don't believe in the command. No, you know what? I take that back. Jaguars, I take back because of the London game. That's a very different kind of game I have to prepare for. And the McCaskies ain't going out there early.
But the cover 2,
they going out there.
We're gonna go out there.
They flying out there the night before. They say jet lag be damned.
I'm telling
Get out there.
But no, look at the quarterbacks that they're playing. Those are that tells you what
Will Levis.
That's a win. Because if our defense
Will Levis got weapons though.
But
Will Levis got a lot of weapons.
That's the problem. My thing is
Will Levis got some nice weapons.
Not scared of Will Levis.
I ain't scared of Will Levis. I'm scared of the dudes Will Levis got to get the ball too.
But he can't. I don't know if it's that defense will beat average to bad quarterbacks, and you'll have a hard time against a good quarterback. So there's not a lot of great quarterbacks we're playing this year. So the whole point is that we can stay up if the offense is able to just score, and then we can shut some of these guys down.
You got these are the quarterbacks you're playing your first 7 games. Will Levis, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Matt Stafford, Bryce Young, Trevor Lawrence, Jaden Daniels, Kyler Murray, and I don't know who's playing for the Patriots. I guess that one actually still is up in the air. I would think Drake May.
That's a win.
But they seem to kind of be they seem to kind of be going like for real. Jacoby Brissett might be playing here. Although by then you may be looking at Drake May.
I mean,
I don't know, man. I watched a lot of rookie quarterbacks beat us, bro, in games that I'm just like, we got this guy, and it was like, hey, do we got this guy? Hold on now.
We had it.
Tebow beat us as a rookie.
You talking about like a 2010?
Well, I'm talking about versus this defense.
So you talking about against Urlacher now?
Yeah.
What was that, 2010?
But it was some rookies that got some work in on this.
Yeah, Tebow.
I mean,
but they just
Andrew Luck ended up being cold, but Andrew Luck as a rookie was cooking. Yeah, I mean,
he's on track of being a great quarterback. Good, I said good quarterbacks, great quarterbacks. But for the most part, average to bad quarterbacks it's hard because of the way that this defense is designed. And it's designed to trick you. It's all about the cover 2. It's about those little pockets. It's those lanes. So a lot of times when you have a great tight end on top of that, you're able to get underneath. You get in between that to find those passing lanes. But it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it's going to be an interesting season overall. Lunatic's drunk, apparently, he said. So he's going in the chat. You okay, my good man? What you sipping on, my guy? What you sipping on? What you sipping on, my guy?
Honey's on my chat, especially with the what? Honey is as annoying as my chat is now, especially with the
he drunk. Just let it happen. Yeah, I mean sometimes
you know what? We appreciate you, Lunatic. Thanks for stopping by.
I appreciate the feedback.
Patron of the show. We appreciate.
He's always in here. He always rocks with us. But he going in right now. Yeah, he out of there. But no.
Poop the Scooby Doo.
Legit. Hoop de whoop. Hoop de scoop de whoop.
Poop the Scoop de whoop.
Before we get off talking Bears, I do want to talk about the Tevin Jenkins situation. He spoke on his contract situation a little bit coming into this season. And I think that his is a very, very interesting situation because there's no question about it in my mind, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing right now that can sway me off of the thought that Tevin Jenkins is the best offensive lineman on this team. Tevin Jenkins could play left guard. He could play right guard. He could play right tackle. I'm pretty sure if you needed to, he could throw you in there at center and could snap the football. David said, just got hired at Hallis Hall. Hope to see you around, man. Love y'all. I'll be up there tomorrow, my guys. So shout out to you. Love seeing us get a job out here. Okay, get that money, my boy. Shout out David, man. Let me know where the back rooms are. I need some interviews back there. Don't look at me like that, Joel. It wasn't weird. It wasn't weird. We wasn't getting weird.
You can't lead off with that though. That's kind of
you gotta get the interviews, bro. Show me where the back rooms
That's
are.
correct, yo.
Yeah, you can't because you can't
sketchy,
do
man.
because they don't like when you do the interviews right in front of everybody. They be like, I don't want to see you. You know what I mean? They don't want to give us the players. So you got to be like, so what are your thoughts on the season? Run.
Why is he Naruto running?
Why is he
hallway.
Naruto running? Should the Chicago Bears be prioritizing signing Tevin Jenkins? What we heard from Tevin Jenkins is that his team has reached out to the Chicago Bears about a contract. They have heard nothing back, which, by the way, has to be absolutely wild. I see you every day. Like Ryan Poles is not a GM that's just up in the seats and like he's watching from afar. He's on the field talking with the players every day. I see you every day. Answer my agent, dog. that would drive me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But they haven't heard back, which means that as of right now, it does not seem that Tevin Jenkins is a priority to the Chicago Bears, re-signing him at this moment. Now, we know that Tevin Jenkins, while a phenomenal talent, has dealt with the injury issues, has dealt with some difficulties staying on the field. Even he talked about that in his press conference today. Should the Chicago Bears prioritize re-signing Tevin Jenkins early in the season? Should they let the season play out?
I think that they should let the season play out. When you talk about the non-exchange between him and basically Paul, it's like when I listen to that, it's basically like you already know what it is. Like basically, you can play. Nobody's saying you can't play. You just got to show me that you're healthy, bro.
Yeah. 100%.
All you have to do is show me that you're healthy, because I don't think it's a talent based thing, which is why I think that he's gonna let this play out. Because you also got to remember, if they're also trying to shore up the other side of the line with who they're gonna put up, who they're gonna pair with Montez Sweat, he wouldn't be top priority, I would think. But this just comes down to, hey, bro, if you show me that you're healthy long term, you can get your contract. But as of right now, I'm not fooling with it. Like, you're not top priority.
That was my initial thought when we talked earlier. I just said I'd rather him just play through the season, see what he does. If he's there for majority of the season, then you do that. Because outside of like the metrics of like with Jalen Johnson, you know, there's clearly impact of him being an offensive lineman, blocking and all those type of things. But for the most part, that's what you're supposed to do practically every play. So it's like, if you do that well and you did your assignments and you could do that all pretty much the season, great. Because otherwise, I don't know, is there a discount price, so to speak? Like, well, we get you now for this amount, but at the end, I don't know what the new going rate is for offensive linemen. Like, now you got receivers that are going from 15, 17 million. Now these jokers are getting 30 million.
You just had McCaffrey go for 19.
Talk. Hey, listen.
So the
running back market not being paid is over.
Pay that man.
Bro,
pay that man.
That man's special. And so, but I don't know with Tevin, like, if the price is, I don't know what his base pay is for who's the last guy that got a big contract from staying with their team versus like a free agent signing. So if he's looking at 10, 12 million, right? Maybe something like that, or 30.
Here's the thing. Tevin makes $1 million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He don't make. He makes like $2 million with signing.
Yeah.
He's not making crazy money right now.
I see, like Lyric Edwards says, saying shout out to Lyric Edwards, by the way. Sign him now. It'll be more at the end of the season. And that's what the one thing I wonder, like, is there really an escalator that happens if we pay him now, or, okay, you did great. You finally played all 16 or 17 games, and now your contract balloons up to something else.
But see, the thing with that is, though, like, we know he's bound to miss like 4, 5, 6 games.
Maybe.
I'm not gonna lie to you. 4
like,
or 5 games I can deal with, depending on when they are.
But
Depending on when they are, because it's a 17-game season. 4 or 5 games. Nah, I don't want you missing 4 or 5 games. More on the 4 level. If you miss 4 games in the season, you probably just got banged up.
Yeah.
Must miss 4 games.
Yeah, but
if you're giving me 13 games a year, it can't be toward the playoffs. But like, you give me 13 games a year, I don't expect everybody to play 17 games.
Yeah,
17 games, a lot of games,
and
it's going to 18.
17 games is a lot of games. It's going to 18, but it's like, man, like, I'm gonna give you this money now, and I know you're not right. And again, this has nothing to do with play. He's phenomenal on the field.
Yeah,
like he's great on the field. He's phenomenal on the field.
Really gets
He's
after
great. He really gets after it.
I don't know if you want to do the Trump jokes after the picture that's in the chat about you.
He's gonna impose his will.
You've got 2 Super Bowls.
But I went.
So
anyway,
what? Who was that? Penei Sewell, the Lions.
Yeah,
he right tackle. He had signed in April a 4-year.
That's not fair though. Him and his brother is eating something different.
A 4-year, $112 million contract. I'm trying to think. David Kessenberry. These are 1 year. Deion Dawkins. He signed a 3-year, $60 million extension. Landon Dickerson is a guard. He signed a 4-year, $84 million contract extension with Philly.
I would think your starting point right now, and here's what's interesting. You can tag Teven, right? You can tag Teven. You pay him $22 million. $22 million you set up for the year. Hey, you're good. He made $22 million in 4 years.
Now, how much?
He's good.
What
I would think if your tag price is $22 million, your negotiation price probably has to start around what, 16?
He might be up there because we don't know now. Tackle to guard is the different.
Oh.
That's a different delineation in terms of price, right? A guard to center to left tackle. Left tackle's premier.
Left tackle, you're getting the most money.
So a guard is a little bit of is less there. So looking at, I would base this off of the the guy from Philly. That would be Landon Dickerson. 4-year, $84 million contract. So that's probably where he's looking at. If he's highly regarded as one of the best guards in the NFL, if he starts and he's that guy.
And that's the thing. And you also have to take into account money's going up. Landon Dickerson getting 21 right now. Quentin Nelson is getting 20. These are just your left guards right now. Jonah Jackson is getting 17. Ellington Jenkins is getting 17. Elton Jenkins, yeah. Joe Batonio is getting 16. Like,
yeah. So
I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's probably a 20.
Tevin's in that Elton Jenkins, Joe Thuney. Yeah. I mean, like, he's in that range of player.
Yeah. And so it's 20. The price is going up. It's going to be about 20. Well, today's price.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of these guys sign their contracts before, right, where Tevin Jenkins is at now. So money's going to be more.
And if you
got to think, if you franchise him, it's 22 for the year. He's the highest paid guard.
He's already going to get paid
in the NFL.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's just what his tag is. But because of that, you have to base your price off of that. Yeah. You're probably starting around the $16 million range. Now, if you're the Bears, maybe you come in at 14, try and get a little lower or something like that.
Ain't no way they're going to lowball.
No, I would just wait.
He's close to 20.
I would just wait.
I think you might lowball him. One, you'd start there because not a polls guy. 2, you drafted Karan Amageji this season. I got to get his name right in my head.
It's Karan.
Karan. Okay. Who, if you think he's a left tackle, I move Braxton Jones inside the guard because when tackles suck, they usually make decent guards. I can see Braxton being an okay left guard. Or I'm If I love Braxton this season, I put Karan in at left guard. Like there's options there. Clearly, they're preparing for that scenario that could come into play here. I think that you do start. Now, it doesn't mean you sign him for 14, but I think you do start low and you try to work your way to the middle.
I think that's an insult to him. If it's contemporary, based off,
Got to be healthy though, dog.
I understand.
Like that's the tough part about it.
The point is, if he's healthy right now, the gamble is, hey, you've only played so many games. He decides to bet on himself.
Honestly, though, but that's been Paul's MO since he got here. Again, I said this yesterday. Flus, okay, you're a great DC. Want to stay head coach? I'm gonna get you Montez Sweat. Okay, Justin, you want to stay here? I'm gonna get you DJ Moore. I just need you to make plays. Jalen Johnson, you want to stay here? I need those pick numbers.
Yeah,
he got those pick numbers. He's more than fair. Tevin at this point just got to stay on the field because, believe it or not, if Tevin's healthy for the majority of these games, not only will he get paid, but the Bears are definitely going somewhere.
I think here's the thing though: it's also about when you miss. To me, it's about when you miss. I mean, but Tevin Jenkins missed the first 4 games of the season. No coincidence that week 5 we end up getting the win. He comes out, he has a phenomenal week that week. After that, he played week 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I want to say 13 was our bye week last year. 14, 15, missed week 16, played 17 and 18. So you're talking about
to get healthy.
So well, I mean, listen, for me, if you can play to the end of the season, I'm good with you.
Fine. But
yeah, I'm good with you. Like he did something last season that got his body right. That got him on the field. I'm good with him.
So if Karan ends up becoming a future lineman like Nate Davis, we don't see him being here for the future. We like Darnell Wright. Bates he's 26 and maybe the future center.
We'll see. I don't know. He might be the future right guard at this point.
And then I don't know.
I'd rather have him at right guard than center, but he might be the right guard this season, boys.
Well, you're just trying to think of like you're saying, like if you tag him for the 1 year. No, well, he's in his year now. You don't have to pay him $20 million this year. You'd
have to pay him $22 million next year.
Yeah, next year.
If you franchise.
Right. So you're coming into a draft with all your picks. If you end up doing all right, you got that second round pick. By the way, 300 in the chat.
Over 300 in the chat. 300.
I think you have to pay some of your players. Like, we talked about this with Jalen. I don't see who else. We have to see who else is coming up for contract after that. But I think they have a lot of money coming in next year. There's a lot of dead cap that's off the books next year, right?
Yeah.
A lot of so they can absorb that contract. But again, it's based off his health is what the issue is.
And that's my thing. It's not a question of can you pay him. It's a question of should you pay him? Is he going to be healthy enough for you to pay him? And when do you pull the trigger on something like that? That's really the question.
That it is such because the trick bag is he plays the whole season, pretty much gets his money, and the next year,
that's the risk you take.
Yeah.
But see, I think the difference with that is right. I worry about that with play. I don't worry about that with health. I worry about that with play. To me, when you see a player who's like, you got a year to go, Eddie Curry. Eddie Curry had a phenomenal contract season.
He did.
He was 19 points a game, which back then was a lot. 19 points a game, like 11 rebounds or something like that.
Couldn't rebound. He was still
9, whatever it was.
Like 8 rebounds.
He was close to double digits, but scoring. Phenomenal game, block and a half. Again, all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Eddie Curry can play basketball? This dude sucked for years. They paid him. He had 2 more good seasons. It was over.
Well, he did all right.
No, we traded him to the Knicks. It was done. I mean, he basically played like a half of your dig on the Knicks. That's what I said. He had 2 more good seasons, then he was done. But I worry about that with when somebody's not living up to play on the court or on the field. Health, it's the NFL. If I'm worried about somebody getting hurt, I'm not paying nobody. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm worried about, is this dude going to be injured? Like, I get it if it's like, I look at every single season, it's like he's missed 37 games.
Hey, real quick, he averaged 16 points and 5.5 rebounds.
His contract year
with the Bulls.
Oh, just in total, yeah.
16 points. We gave him too much, and barely a block a game.
Yeah. It got bad.
He moved up to he had 19 and a half points his second year, and then 13. Yeah, you called it right. It was just fun.
It is. Eddie Curry was an interesting player.
But the difference is, like, football, you can't play around. Like, you can't go do a half job in football because you'll get hurt. It's for real. Like, you'll injure.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, when talent all of a sudden rises up, it's like, okay, is this an effort thing? Like, is he motivated because of the cash? Like, is he playing? But you're not going to be healthier because of money.
Right. Well, he might have also.
You know what I mean? Like, your body's not just going to get better because, I got a contract season. Like,
well, I think. You get the money, and typically what you want is that you have the expectations that come with that. Now, I think that he has taken strides where he learned how to take care of his body better. There were things that he did right that he's doing better about himself. So maybe that all that stuff was learning how to be a professional, learning how to do what he had to do to be in the NFL. And hopefully, I mean, he missed 4 games in the beginning of the year.
And there's 4 games in the beginning of the year, and pretty much played the rest of the season.
So if not, is it carrying on going into that? So I think I've seen the impact that he's had. He looks a dominant guard on the offensive
I
line.
want him on the right side.
I want him on the right side too.
Him and Darnell was killing dudes last year.
They look amazing.
Bro, I just remember DB's just like, no. What am I gonna do with that? Like, what am I doing?
Oh wait, what he said. He said, I mean, Eddie Jackson. He said Eddie Jackson came down with a mean case of the paychecks.
No, Bojack just got broken up, and the team stopped having a defensive line.
Yeah, he just got.
I mean, he was the pick god when the team had a defensive line, and then we were like, we don't really need that.
He missed 5 games last year. He played 12 last year.
Yeah, so he missed weeks 1 through 4, and then he missed week 16.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is that not crazy to ask?
No, I think
if I'm paying 60, I want 17. But realistically speaking, if I'm paying 16 to 18 million for my left guard, and he misses 4 to 5 games a year, but he's there, right? He was there week 17 and 18 to be in the playoffs. He probably plays in the playoffs. You also have to take that into account as well. There's a lot of these dudes that if you're in a competitive season, it's probably a different conversation. Keenan Allen said that last year, that he's like, if we were playing for some at the end of last season, I'd have come back. I didn't come back because there was nothing to play for.
Yeah.
So we'll see, man. I'm very intrigued to see how the Tevin Jenkins situation ends up working out. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page if you have not done so. Leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Before we get up out of here, we're about to lose half the audience. We do want to talk a little bit of Chicago Bulls because the Bulls have some interestingly mediocre news around them, and I just don't get this team. I really don't get this team. News revolving around Patrick Williams and Devin Carter. Where we want to start, boys? We want to start P. Will? We want to start Devin Carter. Where we want to start? We don't want to start at all. I feel that way. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it, though. It's happening in the city. Crosstown, just like the Crosstown Classic. I don't want to talk about that bullpen, but it's bad. But it doesn't even matter which team. No, to me, hearing yesterday that the Chicago Bulls could have made a promise to Devin Carter that they are willing to draft him in this upcoming draft. First thing that pops into my mind, I said this on Locked On Bulls last night. Why are we drafting another guard? Why are we drafting another guard? Now, Hayes brought up this scenario, and I think that this is a good way to look at this. Could this be you're trading away Alex Caruso? You're going to need a guard to replace him anyway. You're going out to get another guard. In my mind, we don't need a guard to replace him. We got plenty of guards. But realistically speaking, what you would do if you're moving on from Alex Caruso, you're probably getting a higher pick in this draft and holding on to 11. Because Houston doesn't believe in any of the picks in this draft. They said they don't believe in the players.
I got to put my GM hat on, man.
You've got 11 and you're adding a pick for Alex Caruso.
Okay.
So you're probably drafting somebody a little bit better than Devin Carter. Maybe you're taking Devin Carter at 11. Joel's saying not that high. It's not that much good in this draft right now.
It's not. It's like the first. I'll probably say the first 4. Then you got Klingon.
Hey,
And
Sweat,
then,
so I said episode 1 of The Last Dance. We can start there.
I took it personally. No, I just
Go ahead. Wait, what were you saying, Ringo? Finish it up.
I was saying that there's probably you got about the 5 guys in the top 5, Klingon, and then probably Klingon.
I think Klingon is top 5.
I like the Klingon move.
I think he's top 5.
I've been seeing him
it's all over the place.
Yeah. You know I mess with Klingon, but I've been seeing him from like 5. They got him at 7, 12, stuff like that.
Yeah. No, I think that if you're trading up, you're going for a better player. So you're trading Alex Caruso to in my mind, either Houston or Charlotte. You got to get ahead of Portland for whatever you do because the players are going to fall.
How would you do?
Because Houston's at 3.
Well, wait.
I don't think that.
Hold on. What's the?
Oh,
move?
Houston already said they're shopping 3.
Yeah, but what's?
Houston already said they came out. They were like, we don't want none of y'all. We want vets.
What is the talk about Patrick Williams though, which is actually kind of what kicked this off?
He's trash.
Huh? I know he's trash, but wasn't Oklahoma wanting him or something like that?
Oklahoma City Thunder there's an interest or a rumored interest that OKC might be interested in trading for Patrick Williams. I dismiss all of this stuff because to me, I know what AK feels about P. Will. He's not trading P. Will. But if you were to move on from him, the big question around Patrick Williams is, are you worried that he's going to go out there and develop? No. And it's not even, I'll say this. I think OKC could develop him because they would say, here's your role. This is what I want you to do. Become the best at your role. And he probably would become a pretty freaking good player at that role.
But he's the next glue guy.
My thing is, what would OKC need him for, though? Like, you already got Lou Dort.
Off the bench. 3-point shooting and defense off of the bench.
He's used around the bench.
You're probably also giving up Josh Giddey this offseason as well. I'd be intrigued.
I'm not gonna lie.
If you send me back Giddey for P. Will, I wouldn't be mad at it.
If the Bulls can pull off, you give me Giddey and then they somehow get Klingon.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
Because I mean, listen, Giddey, we already know.
Me tingly inside.
Giddey's still, he's still contract wise messing with under 18.
That doesn't get me tingly.
He can run the offense though. He can run the offense.
But he can run the offense.
He can run the offense.
I said contract wise.
He can run it. He can run the offense.
Y'all calm down.
That doesn't get me tingly.
But concerning. But no, I don't. The P. Will experiment to me is dead. And the difference to me with everybody who's going to go out there and say, oh, well, this is just like this is just like Larry Markkinen leaving. This is just like waiting for Kobe White. Kobe finally to develop. Those are 7 years. Those are 2 guys that started off their NBA careers shooting the basketball. Nobody asked them to shoot the basketball. Nobody asked them to go out there and be scorers. They knew what their role was. They went out and executed their role. Now, with a more consistent role, can Patrick Williams be better? Sure. I've seen a lot of NBA players be able to do that. But I'm not worried about it and on the other side of it, I'm not worried about it because at the end of the day, guess what? It's going to confirm what we already know. We have a head coach and a coaching staff in place that struggles to develop players and that doesn't put people in the right position to be successful. What is Patrick Williams leaving going to change about that? I got 4 more guys on the roster that are the same thing.
I would just love to see a new coaching system something that says this is what we're an identity that I don't appreciate Billy Donovan, like in terms of even that we extended him. It's like we're going to have more years of this mediocrity.
Oh, you're going to have it anyway because yesterday we got another secret extension. We didn't even put this in here, but Mark Eversley, 3 years, boys.
That's crazy.
That 9th seed has found no players in the draft outside of Ayo Dosunmu, and he's your GM for the next 3 years. Which kills my thought process of Billy Donovan being elevated to the front office.
But y'all didn't see the.
I would love
that. They hired his son though, Billy Donovan III, to run their G League team.
That's fine.
Okay, great.
I saw that. I just
thanks,
saw that
Ringo.
today.
Appreciate
it.
Well,
like,
I'm not. I
don't know.
mean, there's some nepotism going on. Sure, like there's the
always
Bulls.
nepotism. I mean,
There's always some nepotism.
Rich
I ain't
people
mad
will
at that.
put all their kids in positions.
Yeah.
It's all nepotism exists. Period.
Where's Michael?
As long as you're not drafting the brother of the brother that's like really good.
we have done that a couple of times. Where's Marcus Teague when you need him?
Who else did we
That boy
get?
sucked. Jaron Grant.
Oh, versus the other one, the twin.
No, he ain't his twin. Is it his cousin?
That's his brother.
Jeremy?
That's his brother.
Yeah, they're twins.
Jeremy? They're not twins.
They're not?
No.
Or was it Harvey? Okay, they're Harvey's kids. Harvey
Yeah.
Grant's
They Harvey
sons.
kids.
Yeah. All right.
Who's also the worst brother.
Yeah.
The worst brother produced the better kids. That's kind of wild, actually.
Because he was motivated. I kept getting passed over. I'm tired of that.
I need to get tickets to these games. Get me in the game. I'm tired of paying for these tickets. Nah, man, the Bulls, as you can see by the amount of people that just refuse to stick around when we talk Bulls.
We
I
just
mean, like,
lost about 30.
it's just, it's sad because all the moves that they make, I said this yesterday, all of the moves that the Bulls have made over the last 3 years are moves that are to
Complacency.
they're moves that keep the bottom line the bottom
That's
line.
what I'm saying. It's the complacency to keep those tickets, keep people coming to the games, and keep making that money.
Yeah.
I don't need to do anything different because me paying an extra player X amount of dollars doesn't not necessarily affect my bottom line. It actually hurts me, but I can make more money on the long run.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I'm not a fan. I think that, and on top of that, promising a draft pick to Devin Carter. I guess if you're going to take him at 11, I wouldn't be mad at it. A little quick breakdown on him. He's basically Ayo Dosunmu with a better shot. I'm not mad at it at all.
Okay.
He's got a 3-point shot. He's a phenomenal on-ball defender. He'd be a player that if you're talking about players that have upside or star potential, and I don't think there's any superstars in this draft, but upside or star potential, I do think that Devin Carter could be one of those players. I do think he needs to cut his hair. He looks like hairy Derek White, and y'all know how badly that went.
Oh man,
See, he's got enough hair where he can throw it over the hairline.
Okay.
But
you know it's there.
But you know it's there. You know it's there. When you get the run, it's
But
it's just in the back.
Technically, maybe if he cut it, superstar potential.
he said this yesterday. I was like, take him 3 if that's the case. He said, I think his floor is Derek White, his ceiling is Jaylen Brown. I was like, so he's a superstar. I mean,
300 million.
I would take that in a heartbeat. The floor is Derek White.
That means you got a high energy, solid player.
Well, that means you got arguably he was Derek White was 6th man of the year, right? Or he was in the running for 6th man of the
He's
year.
got a motor.
He was in the running for 6 man.
He's a phenomenal point guard. He's a phenomenal 2. Yeah, I mean,
He's
like
averaging 20 right now.
Absolute averaging 20, right? Like, go get this dude if that's the case. I would love for that analysis to be right. Why are we promising picks?
But they do that all the time, though.
Bro, I swear. Hayes said the last time we did it was Chandler Hutchison. I swear there was another one in there. I swear, I don't remember it, but I swear there was another one in there. I just hate because the Bulls do that and they actually draft these months. It was like, we promised Chandler Hutchison we're going to draft him. And they did. And he sucked. And I wished he was better.
Another man's trash.
Another man's trash, bro. That's really all he known for, bro. That's all he known for. Appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. I will probably be remote, depending on if I can get out of here. It is a little bit earlier tomorrow, so I may be in studio tomorrow. We may have a full gang in studio tomorrow because practice is earlier tomorrow. I'll be back up at Minicamp, recording with Courtney Cronin on the Chicago Bears podcast, so tap in with us on that. Hit that like button over here. Subscribe to the page if you have not done so. Leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. For the man, the myth, the legend, formerly known as Ringo J. Stefan the Don, the super producer Joel Holt.
Thank you.
It's your boy Pat the designer back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear Don, see red. Go White Sox.
Go Cubs, go.
Hard Hawk hockey. And what's the other one? Skytown.